Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it might be when you're watching this, and thank you for tuning in to the latest edition on the Logbook. And first and foremost, what I wanted to say was thank you. We've got a few new subscribers recently on the back of a podcast with a couple of other really nice dealers. I just wanted to say we've picked up some really nice comments and feedbacks on some of the videos that we've done so far, and I can't tell you what that means. I really appreciate it, genuinely. So thank you, and thank you for coming back. The reason we're doing these videos is just to show you a little bit more about who we are, what we do, and it allows me to get a little bit off my chest, because the stuff that goes on in the back of a dealership that does sports and prestige cars is pretty bloody hard work. Anyway, loads going on. Today is a Monday, and on a Monday we are technically closed to the public. Although we look open online, you don't really tend to do a lot of business on a Monday. So the lads don't work on a Monday, it's literally just me. I come in, it allows me to just get a bit of zen back in my life, reset, focus for the week ahead, deal with any problems that have come in over the weekend, which there usually are some. Although this weekend, not actually. I've said it now, touch wood. Too late, I've said it. So this morning's a little bit different. What I've ended up doing is came into work because I'd forgotten some trade plates. So we've got an Aston Martin that is going across for a service at Aston Martin. Now we've got a viewing on that car on Tuesday, so I wanted to get it in quickly. Totally forgot to bring the trade plates home at the weekend. The car is now officially out of tax. I've had to bring it back into work, get the trade plates in, get settled, and head off over to Aston Martin. Now, the one thing I would say is I wouldn't normally take a 6-year-old car in for a main dealer service. However, this particular example has had a service absolutely every year on the button. So you're kind of going, you know what it is? It's probably worth swallowing it. For the buyer who's buying that car that is one owner with 7,000 miles on, to scrimp at the end of the process there with not going main dealer is probably a little bit harsh. So one thing I would say, and I'm sure that they'll change my mind when I go back in to pick up the car, but the service that I got at Aston Martin when I dropped the car off, honestly, it was hugely underwhelming. Like, really disappointing. I didn't feel special. And I don't know, I'm a bit sort of taken aback by that. Now, I know they're in a temporary space at the moment, not in their sort of main dealer that they're rebuilding the showroom, really. I think there's going to be millions of pounds to do it. And I don't know, I just felt a little bit underwhelmed. So we'll see what happens when I go back. And I don't expect to be treated like a god, and here's a red carpet to walk on. But that service is bloody expensive, and I don't have to go there. And they've not done me a deal because I'm trading. I respect that, fair enough. But you just sort of think, is this how you treat your customers? Anyway, whatever. So they're giving me a courtesy car. It's an Audi A3 manual. Blech. I quite like a manual, but not in an Audi A3. I just want to drive home and be away with it. Right, so that's been done. I've come into work. We've got bloody tropical fish chaos in here at the moment. So I was stupid enough to decide I really wanted a fish tank for ages. And we've got a really cool bar set up. I was like, I'll put a tropical fish tank in, it'd be really cool. Managed to get one really cheap off Callum's dad. Got it set up, the fish were all fine, and then for some stupid reason I went out the weekend and bought some more fish. This was a few weeks back. They didn't get on, so I had to get a new tropical fish tank for the office, where I've got separate fish in there, and then for some bizarre reason, one of the fish started eating another fish, so then they decided to separate them, and then one of the fish got ill, so then separated that and put all the fish that were getting eaten back into the tank where they were getting eaten, because I'd taken the fish out that were eating them, and now some other fish have eaten all of those at the weekend, so we're 9 fish down. And the one that I've put in here is dead. So I've tried to flush it down the toilet, and that's not really gone that well. So that is my little headache this morning. And I also got a baby in there, and I'm a little bit of a soft bloke, really. I know you've got to be fairly tough-skinned in this business, but that is a little perfect creature, and I'm doing my best to save him. Anyway, the reason for today's video is to show you auctions. So as a rule, I try and avoid them. Genuinely, I'll buy through trade, etc. Now, we've had a pretty decent run, and I've not really been focusing on buying as much as I should have been. And the reason for that is because I've been trying to buy a house, which looks like it might be going through. So I've been trying to sort of keep the money in the bank. Now, they've wanted to see the bank statements and everything for this house purchase, which I've sent to them now, so I can start spending some money again, because we're going to be 2 or 3 months away before we actually complete on that. If it completes, please complete. So what I'm going to do is show you why I don't necessarily buy for auction, the amount of time that it takes. So I'm going to be using G3, and what I essentially do, they've got 2 different auctions on. They've got auctions on a Monday, which tend to be really fresh cars, so sort of up to 2 or 3 years old. Then they have an auction on a Tuesday. Now, I've found I do better on a Tuesday auction, and I think the reason for that is because I do like a good margin. And these people that buy in a Monday auction, they are generally sort of big car supermarkets. They can work on a grander car, doesn't matter, because when a customer gets in there, they stuff them into absolutely every other product, so they make the money elsewhere. For me, I make it on the metal. I might make someone finance commission, but as a rule, I need that margin to start off with. So, I'm going to show you how we do it. So we're now looking at G3. This is their website. I've always found G3 to be quite good. When there's been problems with the cars, not every time, but they often come to the party and try and sort it out. And I find that really helpful. Or if you miss out on a car, because I've got a good relationship with them now, you bid it up, it didn't quite meet reserve, they'll give you a call on the back of it and go, look, Rob, we needed to get this on the can, you put another 400 quid in, whatever, and you can do a deal. So, right, what I tend to do is I'll look, so there's an auction on at the moment actually, so have a quick look at this, what's going through, accept the terms and condition. You see what I mean? They're all quite fresh in this one. So this is a 21 plate car. Cap clean is 23 grand. There will be a reason that this is not doing cap clean. It's grade 4, which is never good on that age. 27,500 miles. So have a quick look at that. What does that retail looks like 26, but actually is it? So it's now up to 21. So this is hard work. So 26.7. Whoa, look at the competition. Look at the competition on that car. Not my bag. Just not my bag. So you probably want to be pricing it around 92% of retail. What's it on at the minute? 21.7. So if you're going 92% of retail, that's going to be 24.5 grand. Yeah, and it went for 21.7 plus fees. So that, if you're in the, and it's a grade 4, didn't get a chance to look at the condition. So 21.7, take away 24,500, gives you a starting margin at 2,800 quid. And it's a grade 4. Now 1 is good. 4 is not good. So you'd expect probably a grand's worth of prep on that car. So you might be 1,800 quid, and then you've got fees coming off as well, so you might be 1,500 quid. On a £20,000 outlay. I struggle with a Monday auction. So what we'll do is, let's get out of here because I don't want to buy anything by accident. I'm going to have a quick look at the auctions that are coming up. So just go back onto home. So go into view vehicles. Now what I tend to do at this stage is you'll see I've started tracking them. I'll just fly through here and go, yeah, I'd probably have that A5, I'd probably have that. That'd work well in the showroom, that wouldn't work well in the showroom. Oh, should have clicked on that. That'll work well in the showroom. That will. Oh, it's done some miles. Sod it, have a look anyway. That will. Yeah, these are all high mileage, that's why they've not come up in my last search. I'm pretty sure there's a Merc. Oh, there it is. I quite like the look of this. So I'll basically run through them all, get them all on tracked, and then you can essentially go back into your track cars, look at the live catalogue, you can generate it, and you can then download everything that you've gone. I think I probably like the look of it. Download it onto Excel, and then I can start to really break them down as to, does that look like I'd buy it? Yes or no? Why not? Has it got service history, etc. I know some dealers that will literally go into an auction and go on gut. And I gotta respect them for it. Because they'll just go and go, yeah, that looks good money. That looks right. Yeah, I'll have it. Blows my head. I am way too analytical for that. I want to know exactly what a margin's likely to look at on a car before I buy it. And I suspect it's probably why I don't do as well as I would do in auctions. So I am looking at, how many cars we've got in here? 30, something like that. Let's have a quick look. We have got 32 cars on this list. How far do you reckon I'm going to whittle this down by the end of it? And I'm going to give you an example. So what we'll do is have a quick look at this BMW, and let's just see where we want to be on price on this car. So the registration number is that. The mileage is 56,650. So retail check, it's looking like 12.7. Now, my immediate issue with this is that the spec is fairly boggo, but that doesn't mean that someone isn't going to buy it. I mean, a 67 plate BMW with 56,000 miles on for 12.5 grand doesn't sound like a strong shout to me. So this could actually be right up someone's street. So if I 12.5 grand it, that gets it into a good price. Let's have a look and see what's on the market. So this will show me all the other dealers that have got one in stock at the moment. And I've looked at plate either side. So it's going to look at 17 plates, 18 plates and 67 plates. So we're going to ignore that one straight away that's done 100,000 miles because he is not in our sort of ballpark there. So we've got one that's done 44k on a 17 plate. Looks a nice thing. They've reduced the price. They were trying to look at 13 grand initially. They've reduced the price a couple of times, had it in 46 days in stock. Now they're selling it at a Ford dealership. So that might be where they're struggling with that car. I reckon they're probably given too much for it on a part exchange, and now they're trying to retail the way out of that car. Fair enough. Let's see what else we've got. Red one. I don't like red cars. I like red cars. I don't like selling red cars. The hard work. So the closest one we've got really is probably this white one here, which is an 18 plate, so it's a little bit newer. It's done a lot more miles, 87,500, but it's got some pretty cool wheels on it and stuff. Black kidney grills, and that is up at 11,750. I think you need to be fairly competitive here at 12.5 grand. I'd even go so far as to say you probably want to put it into great price, because that just, for the sake of 100 quid, that looks really good for a consumer. So what we do then is go, right, let's back to the spreadsheet. We're looking at the BMW 3 Series. We are saying that the retail looks like 12,395. I know it's a grade 2, so the prep, and I've already looked at it, is probably going to be 300-400 quid or whatever. It needs a service, 500 quid, 300 quid's worth of fees from G3, 800 quid's worth of prep. I want to be doing at least 2 grand on that car, really, at least. So that is going to give me my final price, isn't it? If I get those, take them off there. 9,595 is the number that buys that car. I'm just going to put a little note on here to remind me to look at the history as well. So I'm going to give BMW a call in a minute. Now what I need to do is go through every single one of these, and I'll put a note in here as to why I'm not buying it, because that number of 32 cars is going to whittle its way right down. And what I'm going to do is fast forward this so you can see what's going on and what I'm doing in the meantime. It's going to be very, very quick, and I'll just show you a completed list in about 10 seconds. Here we go. Right, so fast forwarding it didn't work. But now you can see this checklist. I've gone through it all now, and you can see how quickly you start to whittle these cars out. And this is why it takes some... We're on 3:30. I started this about 4 or 5 hours ago, but everything's happened in the meantime, to be fair. So, starting off, Audi A5, too bloody many of them, 10 a penny those cars, so it's just going to be so difficult to price. Seat Ateca, quite like the look of that, and then I've gone to find it on the auctions again, it's disappeared, so they pulled it off for some reason. Then we've got rubbish spec, don't know what the miles are, too many online, no history, rubbish spec, engine management lights on one of the photos, DKR, which stands for dog knob red, which means the car's red. I don't like red cars. I do like red cars, I just don't like selling red cars. Then we've got a couple there that we like the look of, 6 owners on a Seat Ibiza on a 15 plate. I don't mind too many owners, but that just seems a little bit... Why? Too many online, engine noise on the report, unpopular, engine light is on, no history, 6 owners, rubbish history, and history poor. So that has whittled us down to, what have we got in there, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 cars, so pretty much half of them out. Now there's one standout car on here for me, which is this Audi A3. So this is the one that I'm going to be watching quite closely when it goes through. So if we can hopefully jump onto this screen here. So this is the A3, now it's a grade 3 car, and the reason for that is because all the way down one side of that car, look at these photos here, you've got these scratches, and that is going to need basically a full side of paint. All 4 wheels need doing, all easy stuff to do. And now I know a lot of dealers out there would try and polish and touch in that, but I think you're going to struggle. Needs a parcel shelf. Other than that, the reason I like the look of this is because it's showing service history. There's only only one done at 47,000 miles, but 2 owners, 2 keys. It has got, when you go onto the Audi system, so I've got Audi login here, which is through here, and then we look at the service history, it's actually showing the car has been in and out of Audi all of its life, and I love this. So it's had a service in 90, it's been done at 18,000 miles, 47. It's been in for additional work then, which was, I can't get onto it now because it's bloody timed out. It's basically had a timing belt, and the last service that was done was like a major service. So it had all of the filters done, all the oils done, everything has been done on this car. It's like mega service history. So that car, back onto the spreadsheet, I reckon is 14.5 grand retail. I reckon it's probably 1,200 quid's worth of prep. I want 2.5 grand across it, which means I could hopefully buy it at £10,800, and that will give me a nice margin. Now, the cap clean price is 11,300 quid, so that's 500 quid behind book where I'm trying to buy that car. I'm hoping that other dealers haven't checked as far into it as I've checked. They've looked at a full side of paint and 1 service and gone, probably needs a couple of grand on it. I want to buy it at cap below or even cap average. I'm hoping tomorrow, when the hammer goes down, I'm the top bidder on that car. So there's that one which looks pretty exciting. Then there's also a BMW Z4 in here, which I really like the look of. So let's have a look at this. Looks like an 11 grand retail car, not a lot of prep. Only want a couple of grand on that. 8,200 quid, I reckon, is going to be the number that buys that car. And if I just go back into my tracked vehicles, I can hopefully show you that. Come on. This looks like quite a cool car to me. Here we go. I just think that looks cool. I just think that looks cool. I think that has got young lad written all over it. That is a fanny magnet for a 20-year-old man, is it not? And the spec, although is okay, on the interior of it, it has got like an aftermarket sound system here, which is quite cool. And it's a manual. It is a 2 litre, which is a little bit poopy. No V5, 3 owners, but again, service history. Look at that, 14, 15, 15 again, 17, 18, 19, 20 and 21. I wouldn't be surprised if we did some more digging, we found another service in there somewhere. So that and the Audi for me are looking like the pick of the bunch out of that auction. There's a couple of others that I like the look of as well. So tomorrow it all kicks off, and I think for the hell of it, what we'll do is we'll pick up again tomorrow when the auctions are happening, and let's see if we buy any of these bloody cars. See you in the morning.